What are the top 10 things you should consider when buying a hybrid club? Let's take a look and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is the first time you've seen any of my content, make sure you consider subscribing. I've got loads of great content up and coming, including course vlogs, club reviews, club comparisons, top 10 buying tips, just like this one for top 10 things to consider when buying a hybrid. If you've not seen any of my buying tips so far, I've done one on drivers, I've done one on golf balls, and I've done one on irons. I've got quite a few of these videos coming. I know they're very popular and I'm getting great feedback from a lot of you guys at home because it's helping you spend your money on the right things in golf. Now let's get back to the top 10 things to consider when buying a hybrid club. Let's do it. Okay, point number one. And point number one in my top 10 buying guides always stays pretty similar. It's all about the money. Is there any point you going to a PXG fitting to look at a hybrid, or to go and look at a Miura hybrid or these other expensive brands, Honda for example, when you can't really afford one and it's going to cause problems with the wife or the husband at home? Probably not, no. Think about the budget you want to spend. Do you have enough money for one hybrid? Do you have enough money for two hybrids? You may have enough money for 3 or 4 hybrids. You need to make sure you prioritise what you spend your available funds on. If you can only afford to put one hybrid in the bag at the moment, make sure it's a mid-loft around a 20 degree, something that you can flight high, you can flight low, depending on your skill level. So price comes in at number one on my top 10 tips for buying hybrids. Tip number 2. What is the longest iron you use in your golf bag? Do you use a 4 iron? Do you use a 5 iron? Do you use a 3 iron? You need to make sure that the lofted hybrid you buy matches the set of irons that you're using. Don't go buying a 3 hybrid if you use a 3 iron. That would be a little bit pointless and a little bit downright silly, wouldn't it? Rather than fitting hybrids with the woods, which a lot of people do, they go and get a wood fitting, they buy the driver, they buy the 3 wood, they buy the 5 wood, they buy the hybrid. Try fitting it in with your longest iron instead. This is something which Titleists do very well down at their fitting centre. Now when they release hybrid ranges, they are released alongside the iron sets rather than the wood sets. That was a big change for them and it's worked well for their players. People are noticing a big difference in confidence from about 200, 210 yards, however far you would hit your hybrid, because they haven't got that massive gap between the longest iron and the hybrid. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3. Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl. Just like in the irons, what is the lowest fairway wood you use? Do you use a 5 wood? Do you use a 4 wood? Is a 3 wood the only wood that you carry? You need to make sure you don't match your hybrid up too much with the fairway woods you are using. If you use a fairway wood that's too similar to the hybrid that you're buying, obviously we know we're only allowed 14 clubs in the bag. That's not going to work well. If you've got 2 clubs too similar, you're wasting space in the bag, possibly wasting golf shots, and definitely wasting money. Money's a big thing in my top 10 reviews. You may have noticed that, but for me, I'm trying to get you the best value you can get and also the best golf equipment you can get by giving you these tips. That's tip number 3. Let's move on to number 4. Tip number 4 for buying hybrids. What kind of trajectory are you wanting to get? Now hybrids are clubs that are well known for trying to get the ball up in the air, but that's not always the case. Say if you go and buy a tailor-made M4 hybrid for example, yes, that is a big head, the centre of gravity is back and it is designed to get the ball airborne quickly and land softly on greens. But what if I go for a tailor-made M3 hybrid? Yes, it's still going to launch higher than an iron, they both are, and it's still going to land pretty soft. But the smaller headed M3 should definitely go lower than the bigger headed M4. The centre of gravity is further forward, that should bring launch down, it should bring spin down, it should be a lower launching golf club. Do you play at a links course? Do you play at a Treeline Parkland course? What kind of shots are you wanting to hit? These are things that the fitter, whoops, I've given something away there, haven't I? These are things that you should be asking the retail assistant, you should be asking your pro, you should be asking your fitter. What kind of trajectory am I looking for? That is tip number 4. Point number 5 of things to consider when buying a hybrid, and this is a fairly cosmetic one. What colour do I want? Now you may think this is me being daft, but in fairness, when you're buying a hybrid, you need to like the look of it, you need to get the right colour, it needs to suit your eye, it needs to give you confidence. Do you like the matte black look of the Ping G400 hybrid? Do you like the split look of the TaylorMade hybrids with the black back and the silver top? Do you like the all silver head of the Titleist 816 H1 and H2 range? Like I said, these are big points, you need to like them, you need to like the look of them, and you need to have confidence when hitting them. That is tip number 5. What colour do I want, and is it going to fill me with confidence? Let's move on to tip number 6. Tip number 6. How good a player am I? Do I need lots of hybrids? Would one hybrid do? Do I need lots of offset on the hybrid? If your bad shot is a bit of a high right, it is a bit of a slice, consider the offset that you buy on the hybrid. If you go for a bigger, more forgiving hybrid, rather than a small, sleeker one, probably designed for better players, there's going to be a little bit more offset on there, the ball will start a little bit further left, it won't slice as much, and it won't go high right. Hopefully you won't lose your golf ball, and you may win your match, win your competition, hit the green from the distance you're trying to get there from. This is a big thing. You need to decide what ability level are you, and what level hybrid should you be buying. Tip number 7, we are flying through these now, guys, stay with me, only 3 tips left after this one. Just in case you couldn't count, I'm not saying you couldn't, but anyway, let's get on with it. Where am I going to use the hybrid from? Am I going to use it primarily from the fairway? Is it something I'm hoping will get me out the rough a little bit better? Is it something I want to use on a pesky par 3 that I never hit the green on? Here at Huddersfield Golf Club we have a couple of long par 3s. I know members, I know clients, I know people who I teach come to me and I fit them with the right hybrid for a certain hole. It gives them confidence. If they can hit the green on that hole from now on using that hybrid, yes, they're going to use it in different parts of the round. It's a club in the bag for 18 holes. But if you've got a pesky hole, a trouble hole that you're not quite confident with, go and get yourself fitted for that distance. That is a great tip. It may be one of the best tips of this video. But maybe it's not for one of the par 3s. Maybe you always find yourself with a certain yardage into a par 5 and you never hit the green. This is something you need to address. If you want your scores to get lower and you want to improve your golf, attacking par 5s and scoring well on them is something which will really help you out. I know so many people who walk off par 5s with 6, 7s, 8s, all because they're scared to attack the green, they lay up and then they make a mess of it from there. Maybe a good hybrid will make you more attacking, it will get you closer to the green, chip in a putt for birdie, worst case scenario par, and get yourself to that next tee safe. That's tip number 7. Let's get to tip number 8. Tip number 8. Is it a hybrid I want, or would I be better off with a driving iron? I haven't personally used a hybrid for quite a long time now. I've used a Titleist TMB 3 iron. I think it's fantastic. I can flight it up, I can flight it down. I can pretty much do whatever I want with it within reason. Is this something that will benefit your game? If you play a lot of links golf, if you play a lot of golf in the wind, maybe a hybrid wouldn't be well suited for you, but you still don't want to use a long iron. You need something a little bit more forgiving, centre of gravity a little bit further back, something that's going to launch a little bit higher and be easier to get on with than the modern day 3 iron, 4 iron, things like that. It's imperative that you think about the golf course that you play when buying hybrids. Is the rough really thick? Do you need something that's going to cut through the rough, act like a recovery wood, a rescue club? That's what they were always called in the past, wasn't it? A rescue club. Or can you get away with a driving iron, a little bit sleeker? You can muscle it down if you need to. That's tip number 8. Do you need a hybrid, or would a driving iron be better suited? There's loads of great driving irons on the market now. We've got the Titleist TMBs, we've got the TaylorMade UDIs, the TaylorMade Gappers, Mizuno Fly Highs. The list is endless of great driving irons that you could put in your bag. Tip number 9, guys, we are almost there, and this is quite similar to tip number 1, although I'm not talking about money in this point. Should you get more than one hybrid? If you go and get one hybrid, that will fill a gap in your bag, excellent. Now, depending how many irons you have in your bag, depending how many fairway woods you have in your bag, you may need 2 hybrids, you may need 3 hybrids, you may need more. A lot of people I know, senior golfers, lady golfers, they use 4, 5, 6 hybrids in the bag and they absolutely love them. A lot of them will go the same distance, but they have more confidence from a certain distance with that hybrid. Don't sell yourself short and just go and get one if you have a massive gap in your bag for more than one hybrid. If you've not tried hybrids before, these things are excellent, they're very forgiving, a lot more forgiving than long irons. They are not everybody's cup of tea, but if you've not tried them, you'll never know. That's tip number 9. How many hybrids should you have in the bag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the list is endless. Let's get to tip number 10. Tip number 10, the final tip in my top 10 points to consider when buying a hybrid. How far do your clubs actually go? Like, really go? Like, no, how far do they really go? Does your 7-iron go 150 because everybody else's does? You need to go and get it checked. You need to get yourself on a launch monitor. You need to see exactly how far the clubs go, what gaps are appearing in your bag, and where you would need the hybrids to get in there. It is imperative that you know how far the clubs go when you're using the correct golf ball, on a good day, on a bad day, so that you can fit yourself for a hybrid. I guess we could call this point get fitted. In my top 10 points for buying guides, a lot of the points do revolve around getting yourself fitted for clubs. It's very important. In this case, you need to know the gaps. You need to know how far your 5-iron goes. You need to know how far your 4-iron goes. If you carry one, you need to know how far your 3-iron goes, and then the other side of the gap, you need to know how far your fairway woods go. Or it's pointless investing in these clubs. Going back to the points throughout the list, don't waste your money. Don't go and buy a club that is going to make another club in your bag redundant unless it's filling you with a lot more confidence. You could replace a fairway with a hybrid if it's going to lower your scores and make you enjoy your golf more. That is the big point. You need to understand you are playing golf to enjoy yourself. A lot of the time people put themselves under pressure to play good golf and end up playing poor golf and don't enjoy it. You're here to enjoy yourself. Hybrids may do that for you. They may make it more fun. Guys, I've been James Robinson. I'm here at Huddersfield Golf Club. That's another top 10 points buying guide. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and check out the rest of my content. And do not forget to put that thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. See you soon.